Hey guys, so today I am going to introduce you to a little bit of visceral manipulation using this Gorgeous Ball. I like to use the Gorgeous Ball by Yoga Tune Up. I believe you can find it on Amazon or on their website, but it comes in a couple different sizes. This purple one's just a little bit bigger, and there's a graphite or black one that is a little bit smaller depending on your anatomy. So if you're kind of smaller bone, more petite person, I recommend the little bit smaller one. For me, this purple one is perfect, and I like to fill it not quite all the way so it has a little bit of give. So today we'll be working a little bit in the viscera, which is in the area where the organs are residing. And that also includes the organ that is the diaphragm, our breathing organ. And for women, a little bit down lower into the reproductive organs as well. So I like to do a little bit of rolling in the viscera if I can every day, but realistically at least a couple, 2-3 times a week, and get in there and just loosen things up. And that's kind of the layman's term for increasing blood flow, increasing mobility, and offering the area space to heal. If you have anything going on within your viscera, this is just a really nice practice for you to become more aware of what's going on, how you're feeling, what needs your attention, etc. So just a disclaimer before we roll and get in there. If anything feels sharp or like it is a transfer pain or a nervy pain, then you'll want to stop. You can do these exercises standing with the ball between you and the wall instead of using your body weight like I'm about to show you. So that's just a more gentle modification and option. And if you end up doing that and that still doesn't work, you can contact me for more modifications. So we're going to start before we roll just by doing a little bit of breath work. So I want you to come down to your back, set the ball aside. You can have your knees bent or legs straight, whatever's comfortable. But the first thing that I want you to do is to let go of any holding on in your belly. So kind of as a society, we tend to kind of hold the belly in. We tend to feel just like that phrase gut feeling. We tend to kind of feel things in our gut. And as such, we tend to kind of hold tension there. So just offer yourself a few moments to relax your back against your mat. Allow yourself to just continually come back to your belly, the space between your pelvis and your ribs, that whole space, and see what you can do to just let it relax. And then just notice your breath. Begin to notice how your breathing naturally works within the space of your viscera. So noticing the in-breath, the out-breath, the rise of the belly, the fall of the belly, and any other thing you might notice. And then on your next in-breath, I want you to just take in a really big deep breath. See if you can fill up that whole space with your breath, imagining not only through the front, but also through the sides and the back, right, of your torso, really puffing out and filling up. And then I want you to open your mouth and exhale, make a noise, a little H-A-ha sound, and just release the breath all the way out. And just do that a couple more times. And then go ahead and resume your natural breath. I want you to close the lips back together gently and just allow some deeper, more aware breaths to be moving through you. It doesn't have to be as deep as we just did, but just continue to notice the space here between the pelvis and the ribs. And then before we operate with the Gorgeous, I'm just going to ask you to take just a little bit of activation as well. So we've got release going. We've released the area. Now go ahead and take your hands and interlace them behind your head. And then you're going to take one of those deep breaths in. And as you exhale, I want you to slowly press your belly button back towards your spine. Squeeze your abdominals and lift up to your level of comfort. And then inhale, let all that go. Relax down onto the mat. And you'll do that twice more. So on the exhale, squeezing everything, lifting up towards the ceiling. So not forward so much as up. And then as you inhale, you let it go. And just one more time. Nice. And then let's go ahead and just take a few little windshield wipers, knees to the left, knees to the right. Give yourself a little release here. You can pause on one side or the other, or both for a moment, or for a breath. And then we'll go ahead and come off to one side and find our way onto hands and knees. Standing up on the knees, I just want you to feel for the space that feels kind of dead center to your belly button. And then you're just going to go ahead and come on down onto the therapy ball with the ball resting in that space. So this could feel a lot of different ways depending on if you've already practiced something like this. It might feel good, it might feel uncomfortable. If you feel okay with this amount of pressure, you can start to go ahead and come down with your head. Let your upper body and your lower body be as relaxed as possible. And just let that ball kind of sink in. And as it's sinking in, let yourself take some deep breaths. So when you breathe in deep, you'll start to feel your belly press the ball away. And then when you exhale, allow yourself to just drape over even more. So letting the ball into the viscera. And you'll do this a few times. And now go ahead and come on back up to your elbows. So we're in a Sphinx-like pose here, stacking the elbows under the shoulders. And just start to bring your hips over to one side and then over to the other. And you'll feel the ball shift to the opposite side just a little bit more as you go. And just taking some gentle massage-like motions here. And so if you wanted to have this be a little deeper, you could stay down and be working side to side this way. Or you can come back up if it feels better to be a little more supported. So just side to side, couple of breaths here. And then slowly, you're going to start to make your way back up. Take your toes behind you, curl them under, and lift your knees and legs up off the ground. So straightening the legs with toes curled. And then our next movement is going to be dragging down and up. So the feet will kind of flex to pull you back. You can kind of press into the arms, forearms and palms. And then you're going to kind of pull yourself forward. So we're kind of taking that up and down motion. You can kind of walk the feet forward and back, allowing that therapy ball to just really get in there. So for those of you who want to work just a little bit lower, you have pelvic issues, C-section scar, menstrual issues, bladder issues, getting in just a little bit lower, you can take yourself down, pause, be a little bit more on pelvis and above, and take those same movements side to side. It's really simple, side to side, just working it out. And alternately, if you are working a little bit more into, say you want to have a little bit more movement throughout your other organs, your liver, or you're wanting to free up your breath a little bit more and get in touch with your diaphragm, come up a little higher. So this is exploratory for you, right? You're going to land in a place that feels perhaps a little more tight or tense or adhesed, and you're going to spend a little bit of time there. And I recommend 3 to 5 minutes max with this rolling. So feel free to come back to this, explore a little more after this video. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to come back up to forearms if you're down. So come on up, stack your shoulders over your elbows. Take your toes, curl them under, lift the legs just like we've already done. Come to the middle again, so kind of belly button centered. And then you're just going to take a deep breath in. Now, as you exhale, I want you to start to firm up your abdominals. Squeeze your abdominals. It's like you're trying to scoop your pelvis in, squeeze your belly button back. Right? And then hold that. Hold the abdominals. It's like you're in a forearm plank, but you're supported here. And then as you exhale, I want you to let your knees drop. I want you to let your entire body just wrap around this ball. Exhale everything out. And we'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift, squeeze. Now exhale, let everything go. Last time, inhale, lift, squeeze more than you've squeezed at all yet today in this practice. Squeeze, like you're lifting up off the ball with your abdominals. When you're ready, exhale everything out. Nice work. So go ahead and come on up. Take the ball off to the side. Just for a moment, we're going to come back to our backs. Take your hands to your belly, maybe one just a little more above the other, or perhaps framing your belly. And just notice what you feel there. For me, I tend to feel a little more freedom. It feels like there's more energy available there. There's a warmth that wasn't there before, a little bit of extra blood flow. And so just check out how you feel. Take note of that. And then allow yourself to rest here just as